ask you. Many people were pretty surprised by the tone of your tweet, not least the fact that you would categorise what Aaron Bushnell did as extraordinary courage and commitment. Many people think it was the act of somebody quite possibly very seriously mentally ill, taking his life in dramatic circumstances, and that was not necessarily consistent with being courageous or committed.
Well, one is that you think of Cato the Younger when he killed himself as the Roman Empire began to emerge and the Roman Republic was collapsing. And Cato's killing of himself has become one of the grand examples of moral courage and a willingness to bear witness as to something that he deeply opposed. Now, I think it's very interesting that so many of the people who were critical of me talking about the courage of my dear brother Aaron, that they don't understand the depths and scope of the suffering right now in Gaza. And too many of them actually are even indifferent to the genocide. They're indifferent to the ethnic cleansing. They're indifferent to the apartheid-like conditions. And so I can understand them saying, well, I am promoting violence by acknowledging the tremendous courage in engage in a moral witness in which you kill yourself as a way of calling attention not to yourself, but to suffering of precious Palestinians in Gaza. That's what Aaron was doing. In the same way Cato was doing the same thing when they saw Julius Caesar moving into the highest position, and it was clear that the republic was coming to a close and the empire was being established. Okay, but and there's a whole host of examples of people who bear witness by killing themselves.
Let me ask you this then.
Suicide. No, that's not the point. It's right. The cause that they're bearing witness to. And that's where my difference with so many of my deeply conservative and moderate Jewish brothers and sisters comes in. If they're indifferent to the suffering in Gaza, then it's going to be difficult for me to even have a conversation, because for me, it's a state of emergency. For me, we need that sense of urgency. These massacres are taking place before our very eyes. We ought to be on fire. We ought to be deeply concerned.